Cannon fodder, he doesn't want to wash white. Chapter 1, Mistaken into the dog's blood text. After Lugn got up, he stared at the slender and pale face in the mirror for 10 seconds, and his first reaction was, who is this? The second reaction was, why is it so familiar? When he cleared his thoughts, he found that he had penetrated into the bloody campus cool text that he had flipped through when he was bored late at night, and he was not the protagonist, but the cannon fodder male partner who ended up the worst and couldn't survive the novella Shen Yanking. This cannon fodder was born in a scholarly family, but he was calculated by his relatives, his family property was swallowed, and he was sent to the countryside since he was a child. No one cares when he dies. After reading this memory, Lugn sat up and almost overturned the bed. I'm such a former school bully, why should I dress to be this little pitiful? If it comes, it will be mixed. Shen Yanking's identity is weak and cold, and everyone avoids it, but it is a convenient shell. And he is ready to be a world-shattering fake and well-behaved real belly black version. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 2, First Encounter with the Male Protagonist. On the first day of school, Lugn, now Shen Yanking, almost laughed out loud when he saw the male protagonist. Shi Tingyu, the proud son of heaven in the novel, his parents are well-known artists, and he is the most famous Xinyanswiba in the city, with a cold personality and decisive work, and he is the heroine's Bai Yue Guang. It is also the object of his various provocations in the original book. In the original plot, Shen Yanking just entered the class, and on the first day of provocation by the teacher's sympathy for him, he was humiliated on the spot, and since then he has been infamous in the class. But now, Lugn chose to sit in the corner of the classroom, low-key and quiet like a white rabbit. What he thinks is, as long as I don't make trouble, don't steal the limelight, and don't provoke the male and female protagonists, I can live steadily to the finale. As a result, in the second class, Shi Tingyu suddenly stood up and said coldly, you asked people to hide my school bag yesterday, now, should I give an explanation? Lugn? He immediately raised his hand in surrender, misunderstanding, absolute misunderstanding. I don't have any interest in your bag. Shi Tingyu narrowed his eyes, you know me. How is that possible? I'm so low-key, how can I pay attention to the movement of school grass? There was a burst of laughter in the class, and Shen Yanking's cute imbecile speech instantly became a legendary joke. From this day on, he was named Wonderful Cannon Fodder. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 3, Down Key does not become the opposite of the wind. I wanted to keep a low profile, but I didn't expect to gain a large number of classmates and fans who didn't think it was a big deal to watch the excitement. When the math teacher answered the questions by name, he brain extracted the knowledge he had learned in the math competition training camp in his previous life, and the whole class was shocked. The boys in physical education class played basketball, he walked on the wrong court, was smashed by the ball, and the next second he scored a 3-point backhand into the frame with a backhand, the whole court rioted. Who is this? Didn't you say he's cannon fodder? How can it be all-powerful? But Lugn didn't want to be too eye-catching, so he decided to blend into the small group of scumbags and lie flat, so he got acquainted with 3 well-known problem students in the school. One of them exclaimed, aren't you the little young master of the Shen family in the scholarly family? He smiled, no, I'm your brother. As a result, 3 days later, the whole school knew that he was the leader of problem students, and even the principal asked him to drink tea. Shi Tingyu watched coldly, but he began to become interested in this cannon fodder who pretended to be a waste, but was actually cunning. One day after school, he blocked Lugn and asked in a cold voice, what do you want to do? Lugn smiled humbly, I really just want to live. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 4, The Reappearance of the Wealthy. In the original book, the Shen family has long been dilapidated, and relatives are fighting for property, and it is a mess. However, as soon as Lugn did it, he resold the few remaining property rights documents in his hand to outsiders, and successfully dug up the Shen family's hidden stakes and recaptured an ancestral property. He also took the opportunity to expose the evidence of his uncle's embezzlement of funds, and put him in prison. This work not only stabilized the family business, but also brushed a wave of justice values by the way. After the news broke, the school blew up. The former problem student has become a righteous teenager who exposes the wealthy family, and netizens are constantly hotly discussed. Even Shi Tingyu was silent, and there was a little more indescribable respect in his eyes. This person is not simple. And Liu Jian also noticed that the male protagonist seemed to be starting to him a little, not right-eyed attention. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 5, Hitting the Face to Doubt Life. In a campus lecture, one of the guests was Liu Jian's friend in his previous life, Dr. Yan, an international master of mathematics and physics. As soon as he saw Liu Jian, he exclaimed, "Aren't you Xiao Jian? How did you become a student? What about your talent for mathematical modeling?" The lecture was silent. The classmates were shocked and the teacher was dumbfounded. Shi Tingyu stared at him for 3 minutes, and said in a deep voice for the first time, "Who are you?" Liu Jian reluctantly raised his hand in surrender. "I really don't have any malice, I just want to live well, I don't want to be killed by the plot." A smile finally flashed across Shi Tingyu's eyes. "Don't worry, from now on, no one will touch you." At that moment, the fate line was rewritten. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 6, The Plot Collapses. The male protagonist in the original book should have started a sweet love affair with the female protagonist a long time ago, but because of Liu Jian's intervention, the plot was completely off. The heroine began to doubt her life, and even the length of the article became less. On the contrary, it was Tingyu from time to time, and he appeared more and more frequently in Liu Jian's life. Help him block the paparazzi, clarify the scandal for him, accompany him to the interview, and even block the revenge of the remnants of the Shen family for him. One night in the wind and rain, Shi Tingyu pulled him into the alley to avoid the rain, and asked in a low voice, "Are you really not going back to the world you came from?" "No, it won't." "Then stay here and be my boyfriend." Liu Jian was shocked. "Brother, your script is wrong, right?" Shi Tingyu smiled. "Didn't you say you wanted to live? Stay with me and keep you alive long and beautiful." Underscore 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 un. Chapter 7, Cannon Fodder Never Dies, Counterattack to Become King. In the end, Liu Jian entered the top university with the first place in the city and was hired as a special young researcher by the International Union of Mathematics and Science. And he also made his relationship with Shi Tingyu public, becoming the hottest counterattack god male partner on the whole network. The plot of the original world of the novel completely collapsed. The heroine went abroad, the second male became addicted to scientific research, the relatives of the original owner were imprisoned, and all the bad guys were punished. And he, Cannon Fodder, stood in the light. On the day of his commencement speech, he said, "Once, I just wanted to save my life. But now, I want to fight my way out for those who have been programmed by the script like me." Standing ovation. Chapter 8, The Dark Tide is Turbulent. Liu Jian thought that after gaining a firm foothold in school, he would be able to breathe a sigh of relief, but he didn't expect that the trouble really began. Some secret forces in the school began to covet the ancestral property unearthed by the Shen family and Liu Jian's talent. One day after school, Liu Jian was intercepted by 3 strangers with mysterious identities in the back alley of the campus. "Young Master Shen, don't be too high profile, it's best not to mess with these things," the man in the lead coldly warned. Liu Jian sneered, "What are you? If you want to play tricks on my turf, pass me first." Before the words fell, he was in shape, and he quickly repelled the 3 of them using years of school fighting skills. But he also knew that this dark war had just begun. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 9, The Edge of Trust. Afterwards, Shi Tingyu asked Liu Jian to meet on the rooftop of the school. "Someone doesn't want you to live too well, they've been moving a lot lately." Liu Jian frowned. "Who are you talking about them?" Shi Tingyu looked into the distance, his eyes were heavy. "Those old forces of the Shen family, some people don't want to revive this family at all." The two fell silent for a moment. Liu Jian suddenly asked, "You say, why are you willing to stand on my side?" Shi Tingyu chuckled, "Because you made me see another possibility." This sentence made Liu Jian's heart flow warmly, but he faintly felt that there seemed to be more secrets hidden behind this relationship. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 10, The Conspiracy Uncovered. One day, Liu Jian received an anonymous email with a conspiracy plan of Uncle Shen's family attached to it. It turned out that Uncle Tang was not really imprisoned, he had already organized forces behind the scenes, preparing to regain the power of the family in one fell swoop. And all of this is aimed at the property rights in Liu Jian's hands. Liu Jian immediately informed Shi Tingyu of the situation, and the two began to plan a counterattack. Liu Jian used his knowledge of data and law to reverse investigate all of his uncle's financial transactions, and secretly contacted a team of lawyers to prepare a counterclaim. Shi Tingyu used his parents' connections in the art circle to collect evidence of his uncle's dark past. The two forces merged into one, building a solid barrier for Liu Jian's safety. Chapter 11, Campus Storm. At this time, a new scandal broke out on the campus. A well-known academic bully was framed as a cheater, his identity was damaged, and he was almost expelled. Liu Jian realized that this was part of a conspiracy sent by his uncle to destroy his reputation. He decided to fight back with action. In a school-wide public debate, the truth about the cheating incident was revealed. That night, a storm broke out on campus. The students stood on Liu Jian's side, and the teachers began to re-examine the value of this cannon fodder. For the first time, Tingyu stood beside Liu Jian in front of the whole school, and the two stood side by side, shocking the audience. Chapter 12, Feelings are secretly born. The crisis gradually stabilized, and the relationship between Liu Jian and Shi Tingyu began to change subtly. During a night of self-study in the library, Shi Tingyu inadvertently gently held Liu Jian's hand. Liu Jian's heartbeat accelerated instantly. I'm not afraid of you. Shi Tingyu whispered. I'm not afraid of you. Liu Jian responded with a smile. The eyes of the two met in the dim light, and there seemed to be endless stories to be told and stopped. At this moment, they know that each other is not just comrades in arms, but more likely destined partners. Chapter 13, Assault and Counterattack. Uncle Tang secretly united several dark forces and tried to attack Liu Jian on campus. Late one night, Liu Jian and Shi Tingyu were walking out of the school gate and suddenly encountered an ambush. Dozens of masked men swarmed in and the situation was on the verge of breaking out. When Liu Jian calmly commanded, he listened to use cooperation and cover, and a thrilling hand-to-hand combat broke out. With their superior reflexes and grappling skills, the two managed to break through. In the aftermath, they decided not to back down and to eliminate the threat once and for all. Chapter 14, Open Showdown. On campus, Liu Jian held the Shen Family Justice Conference to face his uncle's conspiracy in front of all the teachers and students of the school. He showed evidence of his cousin's crime, as well as the shady scenes behind it. Uncle Cousin was so panicked that he couldn't refute it. The teachers and students of the school were in an uproar, and the voices of support for Liu Jian were surging like a tide. Shi Tingyu stood beside Liu Jian, his eyes firm. At this moment, Liu Jian is no longer the cannon fodder who is tricked by fate, but a strong man who controls his own life. Chapter 15, Confession of Love. After the turmoil subsided, the relationship between the two became more and more stable. At the school's open-air dance, Shi Tingyu took Liu Jian's hand and confessed affectionately. From the first day I saw you, I knew that my destiny was no longer alone. Liu Jian replied with a bright smile, I also want to accompany you to the end of the world. With the blessing of everyone, the two officially held hands for the first time and became the most dazzling lovers on campus. Chapter 16, The Future is Ahead. At the graduation ceremony, Liu Jian won the highest honor in the field of mathematics and physics with excellent results. Shi Tingyu won the title of rising star in the art world. The two walked into society hand in hand and created their own future. The cannon fodder is no longer a supporting role, but the protagonist of life. Finale. In the light of society, Liu Jian and Shi Tingyu founded the Counterattack Fund to help young people who were oppressed by fate and were once cannon fodder like them. Their stories have become legends, inspiring countless people to believe. No matter how low the starting point is, life can rewrite the script and live the wonderful life you want. underscore 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 un. Afterward. This is a story of growth and counterattack. Liu Jian turned his life around and won love and respect through wisdom, courage, and sincerity. Shi Tingyu's company is his most solid strength. Maybe everyone has a character hidden in their hearts that is prescribed by the script, but as long as they dare to resist and dare to rewrite, there is no end in life.